Hi dear, today we'll see the refraction of light through a prism. Okay, so already we have seen in the last chapter we have seen refraction of light through a glass rectangular glass slab, right? So in that, what happens when it is refracted through the glass slab? Only there is a lateral displacement of the light has taken place, right? So here we'll see what happens to the light rays. Okay, when it is refracted to the prism. Okay, first we will see what is the shape of the prism. Okay, so this is imagine that this is a prism. Actually we will have a rectangular glass prism. So this the prism, it has two bases, rectangular bases. See, this is one triangular I have taken a triangular prism. So this is your triangular base, top and the base. Okay, the top and the base will have a triangle shape, and the surfaces, you are able to see the surfaces. This is a rectangular surface. Okay, a rectangular surface. How many surfaces are there? 1, 2 and 3 rectangular surface. What is this? 2 base which are triangle in shape and 3 lateral surfaces, right? So these surfaces, this rectangular surfaces, right, lateral surfaces are inclined to each other. It is not separated, it is inclined to each other. The angle made with this two surfaces is called angle of prism. Okay, this is angle of prism. Okay, that's all. So imagine that if it is colorless and it is made up of glass, means you can able to imagine, I think so, right? Okay, fine. A prism has two triangular bases, okay, and 3 rectangular lateral surfaces. The surfaces are inclined to each other. Okay, inclined to each other. If it is a regular prism means what? All the sides will be same. Then the regular prisms will have all the sides are same, means you will have 60 degree. Angle A equals to, this is the angle of prism, this is equals to 60 degree. Okay, so what is the angle of prism? The angle between the two lateral surfaces is called the angle of prism. Okay, this is the lateral surfaces, and the angle between these two lateral surfaces is angle of prism. Okay, we'll come to the angle of deviation later. Before that, we'll see how the light is refracted through the triangular glass prism. Okay, so I kept this triangular this is only the front view of this prism. Okay, so when the light is incident on the prism, see, when a light is incident on the prism, okay, when the light is incident on the prism, so it is always, it is from, this is rarer medium and this prism is a denser medium, right? So if it is denser means what? It will bend towards a normal, right? Towards a normal. Actually it is supposed to go like this, right? It's supposed to go like this. Light rays will go like this when there is no prism, right? When there is no prism, the light will be produced like this in the same path without deviation. Okay, since it is passing through the prism, it will be refracted. So for this surface, for example, this is your perpendicular, this is your perpendicular, this means this is your normal. Okay, this ray, instead of going like this, it will be bent towards the normal, right? Towards the normal. So it bent towards the normal, so it becomes like this. Okay, inside the glass it will not bend, so it moves like this. So this is where the angle between the normal and the incident ray is called incident ray, angle of incidence. The angle between the normal and the refracted ray is called angle of refraction. Okay, okay. Next, from the glass, from the denser medium to it will emerge out of the prism, right? That is rarer medium. Then what will happen when it is enter from denser to rarer, means it moves away from the normal, right? Away from the normal. So perpendicular line for this surface would be like this. This is 90 degree, means, so this is 90 degree. It is supposed to move like this, right? It is supposed to move like this, but since it is bending away from the normal, it will be like this. Okay, this is the emergent ray. So the angle between the normal and the emergent ray is called angle of emergence. Okay. Okay. This, you know, this is angle of prism. Okay. So in case of a rectangular glass prism, you will have only lateral shift. Okay. But here the path itself has deviated. If you produce this emergent ray backwards, this much it is deviated from the incident ray, right? If you produce this emergent ray backwards, this much it is deviated from the incident ray. Okay, now you can read this angle of deviation. What is this? It is the angle between the incident ray produced and the emergent ray produced backward. Incident ray produced forward and emergent ray produced backward is called angle of deviation. The angle between the incident ray produced forward and the emergent ray produced backward is called angle of deviation, right? Angle of deviation. Okay, this is represented by D, and this is angle of emergent, and this is angle of incident. And here this angle, the angle between the incident, this ray itself act as this refracted ray is act as a incident ray for the second refraction. Two refraction is taking place, right? One at this surface, one another at this surface. Okay, here the refracted ray is act as a incident ray for the second surface. Okay, second refraction. So this angle between the normal and the incident is called your incident, angle of incident. Okay, so this is the refraction of light through the rectangular prism. So in prism, always the angle of deviation will be towards the base. Okay, it always refracted towards the base. Okay, that's all. So what is happening here? Two refraction is taking place. One at the face. For example, we'll mark this face as P, Q, R, means one at the surface of PQ, another at the surface of PR. Okay, when it is an incident on this surface PQ, from rarer to denser, the incident ray will be moved towards the normal. Okay, this is normal to this surface. So it has been towards the normal, and this refracted ray act as an incident ray for the second refraction. Okay, so second refraction happening here, and since it is moving emerge out from the denser to rarer medium, it moves away from the normal. This is your normal, so it is move away from the normal. Okay, so this is the angle of emergent. Okay, and if the angle of incident is produced forward and the angle of emergent is produced backward, the angle between these two lines are called the angle of deviation. Okay, clear? So these what are the factors which affects the angle of deviation? Whether it increases or decreases based on few factors. Okay, so the factors are, if the refractive index of the object is increased, means definitely deviation will also be increased, right? Refractive index of the thing is prism is increases, means then deviation, angle of deviation will also increase, right? Because if the refractive index is more, means when it enters from rarer to denser medium, it moves towards the normal, right? And angle of prism, based on the angle of prism, if we have taken the regular prism, that 60 degree I said, you will have different angles also. If the angle of prism is increased, mean you will get the angle of deviation will also increases, because in the higher classes, if you go, you'll go for the derivation of angle of deviation. At that time, it depends upon the angle A also. Okay, whenever the angle of prism is increasing, you will get the deviation also will be more. Then if the wavelength of the light decreases, wavelength of the light decreases means there will be more deviation. Okay, VIBGR, you know, right? VIBGR, the wavelength, violet has a low wavelength, less wavelength when compared to the red. Okay, red light, red color. So for the violet color it deviates more. Okay, the temperature decreases, deviation will also increases. Temperature decreases means what? Temperature decreases means the medium will be denser and denser. Denser and denser means your refractive index will be more. Once the refractive index is more, then deviation will also be more. Okay, then angle of incidence, it depends upon the angle of incidence also. Okay, once the angle of incidence is increasing, then the deviation will be decreasing. On further increasing of the angle of incidence, the deviation will also be increased. Okay, at particular stage it will attain some stage. After that, the angle of deviation will also increases. Okay, just know this factor. That's it. That's enough. Even in book they are not given the factors. Simply just know what are the factors which affects the angle of deviation. Okay, only they'll ask to draw the ray diagram, refraction of light through the triangular prism, as well as what is prism and what is angle of deviation and angle of prism they'll be asking. That's it. Thank you.